Good morning. We're on day 8 now of the distance learning. This is Monday, April 20th for the A class and Tuesday, April 21st for the B class. A couple of new changes this week. If you got the email from Mr. Wolstenhume, you will now see that we have a new bell schedule and times that we'll be meeting. So our meeting times will now be from 10 to 10:45 for A on Mondays. B's will be Tuesday, and then we'll meet again for A on Thursday and B on Friday. Notice Wednesday you do not have to check in for attendance, but I will have office hours that if you need to communicate with me on anything special or what, that you will be you can make an appointment with me and we could either set up a Zoom or we can just communicate through Remind or whatever. I also will have daily office hours from 2 to 3 where I will have a Zoom link active that you can just check in to ask any questions or anything like that. Do note that the 7 to 9 time slot is now set for you guys to work and for me to have prep. So I won't be sending out any reminds or anything for you guys until the 10 p.m. hour. The other thing that you may want to note is that I sent out an email that detailed what your third quarter grade was, but I also had to note that you were in dual credit or whether you were not a senior or a junior or something to that effect. What's important here is because this is a dual credit class, if you're not taking this class for dual credit, your third quarter grade technically is your final grade. But if it says incomplete, that also means that you are missing certain things like projects or PSAs. So what you will see is I also listed out the projects, the final products of each project, what you were missing, and also what PSAs. Now, if you're taking this for dual credit, you're going to have to complete the entire course for the CWI credit. If you're not, you need to complete any of the missing work that I have listed here. I'm still requiring everybody to finish the course, though, because this is a college course, whether you took it for college or not, you still need to complete the requirements that I have listed on there. It's a little confusing. It doesn't stop. We don't stop learning and everything, but you do need to pay a really close attention, especially to the missing projects and PSAs. And I do know that there are 2 PSAs that I haven't put up or finished, but they should be finished this week, so you can get started on them. That would be the Protista and Fungi. That's almost done, and then I'll be working on Animalia next. So if you have any questions about that third quarter email that I sent you, shoot me a remind or Zoom in at office hours to talk about that. As always, you do need to sign in and take on the attendance page. Most of you are doing a good job on that. Let's keep that up. And what we should be finishing up, old stuff, and I'm giving you all the way, depending upon your class. Seniors, you will have to be finished by the 15th of May, because that'll be technically your last day. But we do need to finish up these last units, and that would be the virus and prokaryote, as well as the protista and fungi. Let's need to get those finished. Do note that I have on here the assignment that I changed from a checkpoint to a final product, and that would be the importance of protozoans. So make sure you have that completed. Now we're looking at our new unit that I just put in. You should see this one in your OneNote now. It's called the Animalia unit. It's a survey of the animal kingdom. Do note the due dates that I have here for the different classes. Seniors, you have to actually finish a week or 2 earlier. That's the way it goes. And the important thing that you're going to note on here is what work that I require you to do out of this unit to qualify for this thing called the take-home test. We're not taking a formal final. It'll be actually where you complete these assignments that I have listed on this very first landing page. So let's look at this in more detail as to what the take-home tests are. You only need to complete these required assignments. I literally set this up as kind of a checkpoint where you can click and check these off. There's one diagram that you'll have to print off and do, and that's on the major phyla. If you can't print, then you can try to color it digitally. Some of you did with the other diagrams. That worked perfect. But you do need to do these focus notes, and I will have these in Summit set up as checkpoints, so you can just turn them in as finished, and then just check, put a click here to put a check mark that I've completed them. The other videos that I have in there will say optional. They're totally up to you to do if you choose to do them, if you want to continue your learning. If not, don't do them. But you do have to do these required ones. So that's part of the requirements for this take-home test. The big one here will be to complete the study guide, and it's big. When you get to that page, you're going to see that it's very big and long. And then also to complete this practice test, which you have to have an 85% on. So you can see I put on here multiple attempts that you can record what you have for that. But as soon as you hit an 85, you're done. And also that will allow you, after you get the 85%, to take the power focus area that will be there for Animalia. The last thing that you'll have to complete is this thing called the signature assignment for CWI. So those of you that are doing dual credit definitely have to do this. Those of you that are not doing dual credit, you will still have to do it. Okay? And the signature assignment, you'll see it'll be in OneNote as a separate unit. It'll say CWI signature assignment. You'll see that I have an instruction page. What you will be doing on this signature assignment is a pictochart presentation, not a poster. So I'll probably create a video that just outlines the presentation, because some of you probably won't be ready to start this. But you can certainly read these instructions as to what you're going to need to do on this. It's a little bit different, but it's kind of like PictoChart's version of a PowerPoint. So you're not making a video, but you will be sharing this with me, and I'll detail more later how you're going to share this with me. The thing that you will note is you don't get to just pick a topic. I've actually given you two to pick from, but you don't come up with your own endangered species, because I don't want to see multiple presentations on a giant panda. So what I have done is I have created a topic list. I used a random generator that produced two topics, one that is considered an international species and another that is considered a U.S. species that are considered to be endangered based upon the definition of what an endangered species is. So you will see that you get two choices next to your name. Those topics will be found in your OneNote. So there'll be a page that says, for example, 2A topic list. Next to your name, you may have this the squirrel chimney cave shrimp, or the straight horn macaw, which I have no idea what that is. They were just randomly generated off of a list of endangered species, both international and US. You pick one of those two. You only do your presentation on one of these. You can't substitute. Okay, so if I see a presentation that comes in saying it's the white rhino, and I check this list and it was not listed on yours as what it is, then you have to do it over, or you don't, because you will not receive credit. Again, this is important for those that are taking the CWI. This is a CWI requirement. And I'm also making it, since this is a college class, required for the non-CWI group. This is going to be one of the final products that you do. I'll have more detail on a future, because I don't believe anybody right now is ready for it. I'm just giving you a preview, and you can actually look. You may actually start doing some preliminary research, checking out this based upon the instructions that you see as to what you're going to need. So in a real quick nutshell, we'll probably have a Zoom. So watch for the daily email that I send out. I'll probably have a quick Zoom today so that we can just answer any questions. And then if you need further, if you think of things later, you can zoom in on the office hours Zoom. Just last thing is taking the PFAs. Like I said, I'll be putting in the last 2 PFAs as soon as I finish getting them typed up. I just want to remind you that to retake a PFA, you're still going to have an 85 or higher on the PFAs. I'm losing my thought here, on the practice test. And remember, the practice test link is always going to be found on the study guide page for you to go in. And then when you're ready for it, do send me a remind. I saw somebody the other day request it, didn't send me a remind. I just killed it. I denied it. And I thought, if you can't follow the instructions, then no, I'm not going to worry about it. You need to be responsible. That means either you're not watching these daily videos that I put out, or you're not zooming in when we have certain things, or even reading the email that I put out. You got to be responsible about doing that. So again, any questions, give me a remind and we'll go from there. But also be looking for the daily email today that will probably have a Zoom link on it so that we can have any kind of conversation with the new schedule, the email that I sent out about 3rd quarter grade, clarifications on that, etc. Okay, thank you.